Now, I've actually encountered and seen several horror flicks that focus on monstrous kids and what have you. And I just saw this recent film from not so long ago, Abigail, which came out this past April and is now on physical media and now streaming on Peacock. But is this recent vampire flick worth checking out for a real bloody good time, or is this one not worthy enough to feel its bite, even if it's from a little girl? Find out in this spoiler-free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Durand, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the 2024 horror comedy Abigail, released by Universal, directed by Matt Benelli Open and Tyler Gillett, better known to us as Radio Silence, which they also had produced it. Co-produced it anyway. Written by Stephen Shields and Guy Busick, starring Alisha Weir in the title role, along with Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Kathryn Newton, Will Catlett, Kevin Durand, Angus Cloud, and Giancarlo Esposito. The film follows a group of kidnappers who capture the daughter of a powerful underworld figure and demand $50 million for her release, unaware of something sinister. The film was released just a few months ago, back in April of this year, on April 19th. Anyway, this has been, wow, included on numerous lists and what have you. So, anyway, the film did okay at the box office. Not as great as we would expect, though. But let's go ahead and get into what this is. A young ballet dancer named Abigail is abducted by six criminals and taken to the secluded Wilhelm Manor. Before leaving, their leader, Lambert, instructs them to guard her for 24 hours, at which point they will receive an equal share of a $50 million ransom paid by her father. The group, all of whom use fake names to avoid identifying each other, consists of former Army medic and recovery drug addict Joy, former NYPD detective Frank. Sorry, I saw something on my floor. Sorry. Thrill-seeking hacker Sammy, former Marine sniper Rickles, dim-witted mob enforcer Peter, and sociopathic driver Dean. Though reluctant to continue with the plan, as she was unaware the target was a child, Joy is tasked with managing Abigail. Well, apparently, they soon learn that this little gal here is really a vampire. Yeah, and believe me, this turns into one bloody good film. But that's all the story I will give to you, no more, because this is a spoiler free review, so enough said about this. So, my thoughts on Abigail now. Well, after watching this when it premiered on Peacock last Friday, I am going to say I really thought this was not bad. This was more good and bloodier than I anticipated. Now, even though last year's Renfield, which didn't quite do so great for the studio, was pretty good in some ways, but this one is definitely more good. They have Brian Tyler on board to do the score for the film. I'm going to say he does an exceptionally good job. So, gotta love that. I really think it has a lot of stuff that it has to offer and what have you. Now, the film's set to 82% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, saying carrying off well-worn vampire tropes with a balletic flourish, the film dances around the familiarity of its premise with a game cast and slick style. I definitely agree on that. Metacritic has it a score 62, and CinemaScore gave it a grade B. Slash film wrote with a pitch perfect ensemble cast, exquisitely timed laugh out loud moments of humor, a barrage of twists, or should I say, Parrots. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Parrots. An unbelievable amount of blood, killer action set pieces, and a downright transcendent performance by one of the best child actors in the game. Film sets the bar as the most fun you can have with a horror movie this of the year. In other words, the film is horror on point. Traditionally, films that are this delightfully raucous, bloody, and I mean bloody, according to the reviewer BJ Colangelo, and silly are relegated to B-movie schlock, not a bad thing for the record, but the film still embraces the excessive and ornate gothic aesthetics of classic horror movies. The result is an old school vampire movie with modern frisk and flair and an absolute blast of a movie to watch with a crowd. I'm sure there'll be plenty who think I'm overhyping the film or exaggerating how good it is, but I honestly wouldn't change a thing. The film is a perfect horror movie and already one of the best films of 2024. I pinky promise. Yeah. Well, a reviewer for the New York Times described this as a take of 1936's Dracula's Daughter, which was one of the horror films in Universal's vault, some of which it has resurrected in some fashion. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Dracula's Daughter, but if I happen to encounter it one day, mind you, I might just check it out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching something on the tube. I apologize. Anyway, but a lot of it's pretty good and what have you. It just was so amazing. Totally. Anyway, now of course the direction was done by Radio Silence, who already had recently done several horror films, including the last two Scream films and Ray or Not. Sorry, just checking to see how the progress was going. Sorry. Anyway, now the film did all right, but it just didn't do great though. The film made 42 million worldwide against its 28 million budget. But anyway, now I really do agree. The story's pretty good and what have you. It does have some pretty good bloody moments and what have you, gory moments. Well, you get the idea. As for our cast, we have Melissa Barrera, who of course recently was in both the Scream requel from 2022 and last year's Scream 6. She played Sam Carpenter. Now, of course, she plays the character of Joy, and I must admit, she does an exceptionally good job on her performance. Dan Stevens plays Frank. You may know him from Downton Abbey. He played Matthew Crawley. Will Catlett played Rickles. I am going to say he's not too bad. I mean, he's appeared in on TV's Black Lightning, and he's been in several other films, but most of them I'm not too familiar with. Let's see now. Kathryn Newton, now who I'm familiar with, who was in Freaky and more recently was in Lisa Frankenstein earlier this year, appears as Sammy. I'm going to say she's exceptionally really good in this. Even though her performance in Lisa Frankenstein was fine, but this I gotta give her credit. The best I've seen her do since Freaky. Definitely. Kevin Durand plays Peter. Yeah, he of course played was well known for playing Martin Kimi on TV's Lost. He was also in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I will be doing a redo review of next. He was also in Resident Evil Retribution, Legion, Smoking Aces, The Butterfly Effect, and more recently, after this, he was Proximus Caesar in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm going to say he does it exceptionally good. And Angus Cloud played Dean. Now, of course, he's been in some films like North Hollywood and The Line, but I'm not too familiar with that. He's well known for playing Fezco on the recent HBO series known as Euphoria. Giancarlo Esposito, who I do know who that is, I've seen him in Harley Davidson, The Marlboro Man. He was also in Monkey Bone, and he's been in several other films. He plays Lambert. He was really good. I liked his performance. Abigail's father is played by Matthew Goode, who has appeared in films like Chasing Liberty and let's see, and Watchmen. He's also been in several other shows and movies, so he's pretty good. I mean, at this point, I like all the cast, but however, it was young Alisha Weir playing Abigail, who I almost didn't know this was her. Alisha Weir recently played the titular role in Matilda the Musical on Netflix a couple of years back. I must say, after Matilda, Abigail was an exceptionally good performance. I gotta give Alisha Weir a ton of credit for it. She did an exceptionally good job. So overall, Abigail is a good film, and I think this is a horror film you need to see. It just got released on DVD and Blu-ray not so long ago this month. If you don't have it, no problem. It's on Peacock now. It will be it will be going to Prime Video later on, possibly before the year's over with, and then it'll come back to it and then go to Stars next year. But it's got a good cast, it's got a good soundtrack and score, a great story, etc., 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 and good bloody, gory effects as well. So definitely check out Abigail. I think you'll really like it. So for my score, I'm going to give Abigail 4.5 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 9. So what did you think of Abigail? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Please continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. And join me next time when I bring to you my redo review of X-Men Origins Wolverine. So if you like this, check out some of these other killer chick flicks. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of a film I had just mentioned with Kathryn Newton, and that was Freaky from 2020. Which that was a very good film actually. Or you can go to the upper right hand corner and see a recent hit for Universal, which was my top film of last year, Megan. Or if you would like maybe another vampire flick, check out my review of another film Universal put out last year, and that's Renfield. And with Nicolas Cage in the bottom right hand corner, excuse me, is the button you can click to subscribe. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.